Okay. Genesis chapter 5. Now Genesis chapter 5 is interesting. The reason is, in chapter 4 you find the first death. Now, I don't want to call it a death. That's actually a murder. Right? It is a murder. Now, you know the difference between death, a natural death, and a murder. Natural death, you don't have any interference. Yeah, the body shuts down over a period of time. Now, the murder happened, it means to say it was untimely. Now here, in chapter 5, you come here and you understand that verse 5, altogether Adam lived 930 years and then he died. Did anybody kill him? No. Now, why did he die? Why did he die? The reason he died is because you find this in Romans chapter 5 and verse 12. Romans 5:12 gives us the reason what happened there. Okay? Let me read that for you. Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, who's that one man? Adam, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all men because all sinned. Did you see? The physical death came into this world because of sin. Now, chapter 5 talks about the genealogy. Please remember, genealogy in the scripture has a very powerful role. What happens with the genealogy is you prove credence to somebody's existence. Somebody says, I am from this family, so you have to prove. So this genealogy is very powerful. You find this all the way in different places. Okay? You will find this in Numbers again. Right? Who are the people who came out from Egypt? There is a counting that happens twice. You find this the number of people who came out. The counting happens in the book of Ezra. The genealogy can be found in Matthew. The genealogy can also be found in Luke. It can be found in Chronicles. So the genealogy has a very vital part in the scripture. Now, what happened here is you start with Adam. Okay? And Adam, according to the scripture in Luke, is called what? Adam is called, do you know what is Adam called? Of course, he's the first person, but what is he called? You know, Luke chapter 3 and verse 38. The genealogy is coming all the way from Jesus Christ, all the way going back, and this is what it is, verse 38. The son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, the son of God. Adam is called the Son of God here in Luke 4 and 38. Now, in Genesis 5, you find verse 3. Adam had lived 130 years. He had a son in his own likeness, in his own image. You know, why is the Bible talking about this? What is his image? What is his likeness? Please remember, Adam was formed in what? In the likeness and the image of God. But now he has a son. Now, if he had had the same spirit, if he had not sinned, you know what would have happened? The Bible probably would have said, Adam bore a son in the likeness of God. Probably. But now because he lost the likeness of God, lost the fellowship with God, now Adam's nature is transferred. That's what we found in Romans 5 and 12. Through one man sin came, and this sin, it spread to all the mankind. So, now he had a son in his own likeness. This likeness is the likeness of Adam. And he named him Seth. Okay? Then you find in verse 5, Adam died. And then you find slowly, verse 8, Seth lived 912 years and he died. And slowly you find people living, how many years they lived and they died. Verse 11, somebody died. Verse 14, Canaan, 910 years and then he died. verse 17, altogether Mahalalel lived 895 years and then he died. And see, you find all these people dying and dying, okay? You find the word died so many times coming here, okay? In the middle of all this, you find one very unique person. And that unique person is who? Enoch. What happened to Enoch was, verse 21. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. Please remember one thing. There's a beautiful lesson that you find from this story of Enoch. Number one thing is, Enoch was a very special individual you find here in this chapter. When all the people are dying, one after another, one after another, one after another, there is one person about whom the Bible doesn't say he died. He's alive. So if you understand, you could say he's probably somebody like, walking in a cemetery. Everybody is dead, all of them are buried, and there's only one living soul. And there is only one person living, and that person is Enoch. Okay? So, another quality that you find about Enoch is, you see, he became the father of Methuselah. Okay, we'll come to Methuselah a little later. Now, he became the father of Methuselah, and after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years. Now, many times, I have seen many people in many cultures, many religions that you find, that if you want to follow God, you have to become an ascetic. You have to abandon your family, is many religions that teach. Yeah? You have to give up all the family relationships so that you can go and be devoted to God. Now, here is one person who had a family and he walked with God. Now, if somebody says it is impossible, here is one proof you can say that's not right. Methuselah had a family. He had a child. He had a wife, he had a child, and then he walked with God 300 years. Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Not only Methuselah, but he had a big family. So now, having a family, doing a ministry, or having a family, being devoted to God, having a family and being committed to God. Many people have questions. See, today, I want to ask a question. How many families are so excited about a Sunday morning? Wow, today is Sunday. Come on, we need to get up. Come on, you cannot be sleeping in your bed. Come on, get off your bed. Go, take a shower. Oh, are the kids excited? Is the father and the mother in the family excited and said, wow, we need to go to the house of God. Come on. Do you hear that? Hardly you find that. You can find such an excitement for football or for a picnic, for a trip. But you would hardly find this excitement for what? Coming and worshipping God. You see where we are? Now you may say, no, I have seen many people give an excuse. Many people give an excuse. Oh, I could not come because, because of this reason. And that reason is directly or indirectly connected to the family. Oh, I could not come because, I had my brother and his family come over from so-and-so place. Or my sister came from so-and-so place. Or my children were not ready, so we could not come here. I was speaking to one person, and that sister was telling me, if they have a meeting, people go to a meeting on a Saturday and they're busy and they're late, so they skip Sunday. They skip Sunday. That's the day God said, that's holy. You must come and worship me that day. So many parents are giving excuse that children, because of their children, they are not able to be wholly committed to God. Look at Enoch. He had a family. But he was committed to God. He walked with God. Can you imagine that? Somebody getting a statement, he walked with God. Did he have a family? Yes. Look at the disciples of Jesus Christ. Did they have a family? Yes, they had a family. Were they committed unto the Lord? Sure, they were. Now when you have such examples from the Old Testament and New Testament, why is it that believers use their family as an excuse to pull their commitment down from God? We need to learn a lesson here. And Enoch walked with God. And he walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. So, he was walking with God. Somebody put it like this. He was walking with God, and they were walking and walking and walking. And God said to Enoch, it seems, Enoch, I think my house is closer than yours, so let's go to my house. Yeah? He did not see death. He did not taste death. He went into the presence of God. He walked with God and just went away. Okay. Now, you have another person here called Methuselah. You have another person called Methuselah. Methuselah is a very important character in the Bible, because the word Methuselah means after him it will happen. After him it will happen. What do you mean by after him it will happen? It means that the day Methuselah died, you know what happened? Flood came. The day Methuselah died, the flood came. Alright? Now, we all know about the flood. Methuselah was the one who lived 969 years, 27, verse 27. And he is the man who lived the longest. So you learn a lesson from this, that God was showing His grace to the people, and then He made this man who would be a sign for the flood to come to live the longest. What does it mean? He was delaying the punishment, and that was the longest period, because this man's life is connected to the flood. So when the flood comes, what do you think is going to happen? Flood is coming as a judgment of God. And you have this man living the longest. What does it mean? The judgment is being pushed afar, further and further. That's what you learn about the grace of God in the first beginning chapters of Genesis. Okay. Noah is born. Verse 29, he named him Noah. And why is he called Noah? The reason is given here. He will comfort, for comfort is in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground of the Lord has cursed. Remember, God cursed the ground because of Adam? He cursed the ground. Okay? So therefore, Noah was the one who was supposed to bring relief to the people. That's the hope with which they named him. Verse 32. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Please remember, Shem and Ham and Japheth are very important characters. Are very, very important characters in the Bible. You have a sheet I have given you there, and we'll come to that part later when you come to Genesis 10. Alright, here we find in chapter 6. In chapter 6 you find the condition of the earth those days. The condition of the people those days, it was very despicable. When men began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. There's a very big argument about who are the sons of God and who are these daughters of men. Okay? There are several schools of thought. Let me lay down a couple. Number one, the sons of God and the daughters of men. The first school of thought is the children born to Seth. The children born to Seth. From Adam. Adam had two sons, Abel and Cain. Abel was killed, and he had a son called Cain. And then they had another child called Seth. The children born in the lineage of Seth were called the sons of God.